Okay, we are recording. How are you, Victoria?
I'm okay.
Good, good, good. Well, I'm actually excited for you to share your testimony because you have a powerful, powerful testimony. And I believe that your testimony, like many of our sisters and brothers' testimonies are going to it's going to be beneficial for a lot of people. um because it's so powerful. Actually, I don't want to speak too much and give anything away. I'm just going to allow you to just share. I'm going to actually guide the conversation and ask you a few questions, and we can just take it from there. And so we can first start with you just telling everybody, like, how was your upbringing? Like, what was it like? How was your childhood? What was it
Um,
like coming up?
my childhood was pretty dark. Um, First to start off from birth. Where my mother just left me in the hospital to die, and went into my grandma getting me. And from age 3, um, on up, I faced abuse. Um, was drugged. Um,
Mhm.
and
And this was by your grandmother?
my grandmother and my granddad.
Mm, okay. Hmm.
Um, I can remember the first time she gave me a pill. Um, I was 4 years old, and I never seen a doctor,
Hmm.
and I thought it was candy, and she
Hmm.
just slapped me across my back, and she told me, "You don't chew it, you dummy." She slapped me across.
Mm, mm,
Um, I can remember my oldest brother. They gave me a dog, and it was my first pet, and I called her Star. And so whenever the dog would bark and stuff, she would take it and put it in a storage house, and
mm,
she would take me and my brother whenever she would tape us, tape the mouth, and then we would be
mm,
hands across our back, and
mm,
the rope would be tied tight, and then she would
mm,
take us and put us in this storage room where it's smelling gasoline and stuff.
mm. And nobody knew, but I
I,
guess your grandfather. Did your grandfather know?
they would wait. Yes, he was a part of it. They would
Mm,
wait until nighttime when everybody go in and put us out.
mm. Wow. Mm. Now, this was your mom's mom and dad, I guess.
Um, yes, I just know her as my grandma.
Okay. Right. Okay.
Anything?
No, you could just share what your upbringing was like. Just everything. I know you said that you were in the hospital, and your mom. Do you know her? Can maybe let's go back to what did you hear about your mom? Like, what was her reason? Did you hear anything about her reason why she left you in the hospital? Because I remember you said she left you in the hospital to die. What did you hear about that? Like, what was the cause? Her reason for doing that.
I heard it in my grandma's mouth when I was 15 years old. She would just say a lot of cruel things to me. She would say things like, um, she wished I was a boy. I should
Mm-hmm.
have been a boy, and she didn't. I was her least favorite, and just start saying just mean and hurtful things to me. I wasn't gonna be crap, or
Mm-hmm.
I'm not worth crap. And,
Wow.
she
Mm-hmm.
told me that my grandma, me, my mom, she was on hard drugs,
Mm-hmm.
and she just left me there, and my skin was peeling off my body as a newborn baby,
Mm-hmm.
and she just said that she wished she never got me.
Mm. Wow. Mm. And so ever since then, I guess when she took you home, then you remember, I think you said since the age of, was it 3 or 4, where
3
you
years.
remember her, 3 years old, where you remember abuse from your grandma. Mm. Okay. So you say she would put you guys in the basement, you and your
Put a
brother,
storage house where you put
a
gasoline,
storage house.
where
Mm.
lawnmowers and stuff be at.
Mm. Wow. So what would you guys be doing like at that time? Would that be overnight or a couple of hours?
Um, Sometimes it depends.
Hmm. Mm-hmm.
And she would also lock me in the bathroom. She would unscrew the light bulbs. Then she would have us watching these different movies and stuff. And then when I was 7 years old, um I became fear of these bugs because of the movie I was watching. And one was in the bathroom, and she took it and she put it in a bottle. And then so my brothers, I grew up with a bunch of boys, and
Okay.
so brothers, they used to just sit there and wrestle with me. I guess try to toughen me up for something. And
Mm.
my brother scratched my neck, and I was about 11 or 12 years old. And she took the bug, and she tried to give me the she threatened me to be in a storage house. She threatened me to go in the that she was gonna put me in a storage house and stuff like that. She was trying to get me to admit that I did this by myself and not my brother.
Mm.
And then
Wow.
so she took this bug that I became afraid of when I was watching that video about a lot of those bugs. They was coming up to this man, and then there was a big giant one came out, the little brown thing, and they started
Mm-hmm.
coming in this man's throat.
Mm. Hmm. So you became scared when you seen that, scared of bugs. She used it against you. Hmm.
And I didn't know why she would treat me like that. Um, it's
Hmm.
like more I was good to her, the worse she got towards me.
Wow. Mm.
Um, I can remember sitting on his can, and it was like late. I was real. I think I was 7 or 8, and she was coughing and throwing up and stuff, and everybody was asleep, and I was sitting there by her side. I was just sitting there watching her throw up and stuff, and everybody did. They was just snoring and stuff when I was there. Then
Mm-hmm.
like when she got back from the hospital. She just didn't give a care. Then she started giving me these pills. I didn't even know if I was awake or asleep. I was 9 years
Mm.
old to remember it like yesterday.
Mm.
Um, I didn't remember if I ate anything or not.
Mm.
I remember waking up with my pants down.
Wow. Really? Mm. Wow. So do you think that sometimes those pills would knock you out? Probably make you go to sleep or something. Well, knock you out whatever way.
All I
Yeah.
know is the feeling it was like it was messing with me, messing with my mind. It was. I thought I was awake, but I wasn't.
Mm. Wow. And still till today you don't know what those pills were that she was giving you.
I know that
Mm.
some was red and some was white.
Wow. And you never well, I'm gonna let you finish tell your testimony. Like well, I think did you say that you never went to the doctor? Wow. So she was getting the pills from somewhere and giving you guys something. You just don't know where it was. Mm. Wow.
And as I got older, I guess like me and my brother, we got older and older, and I was like the quiet one, and my brother, he was it's like he grew revengeful towards her,
Mm.
and then she I can remember watching at age 15 where it was this show um about these kids. There was um they did something to their parents, and so I remember at 12 o'clock at night, it's like someone was telling me to go in the kitchen. It was like influencing me to go up in the kitchen to go get a knife. And I remember
Mm.
right over her because I was tired of
Wait,
the
you
music.
said that it was kind of breaking up, Victoria. You said that the kids that you watched something with some kids that did something to their parents. Was it something? What did do you remember what they did?
It was this case, uh, the about these twin girls, how they murdered their mother
Okay. Hmm.
because
Wow.
the mother was being harsh to them, and
I see.
and so I kind of got influenced by that, and
Mm.
I was tired of being treated the way she was treating me, and so I tried to go in there, and I had went in there. It was like 12 something that night, and I had got a butcher knife, and I was standing
Mm.
over her head, and all of a sudden it was a loud voice told me to go put that knife back.
Mm.
I went and put the knife back.
Wow. Wow. Mm.
And then my brother he started talking back and everything and stuff. Like she would take things out up on me of a reaction what my brother would do. and she would just because she was just like she was afraid of him, and because I wasn't responding back when she would do stuff towards me, I would go in my room and cry and stuff. And my brother, he would just stand there and just argue back, curse her out, and everything. And
So,
so I get the blame for it.
mm,
And then
wow.
she had beat me so bad one day. Um my cousin, she was at school, and she had let me borrow her purse. And she had let me get her purse, and then I had brought it home. And she had beat me so bad, and then when I went to school, I was scared to go home. And I just bust out in tears. The teacher would wonder what was wrong. And
Mm,
they thought, cause prior to, cause I was being bullied at school and bullied on the bus, then bullied at home. And then one day when I was 17, I had said I was tired of living. I
mm,
used to cry. Back then I didn't know his name like I know his name now. But I used to cry back then. I used to say, God, why did you give me this life? And I would be battling thoughts in my head that God hated me and I was a mistake and I
mm,
wasn't never meant to be here.
mm.
And
All lies.
yes,
Mm,
God was told that my first been in a garbage can. And I used to wonder why my mom didn't just throw me in the garbage can instead of
mm,
having me in the hospital. That was so bad of how I used to feel. And then my grandma, she would just call me ugly, and I would just think that I was ugly. And
oh, my goodness.
and she would just tell me horrible things like that I want to die at 18 years old and stuff like that. And here I'm up there wondering, just sitting there believing this stuff that I was going to die at 18. And
Mm, mm,
no matter how I bring home good grades and respect her, it's like she just looked at me like I was pure trash.
mm, mm,
And
mm,
then I could remember other parents coming in the yard. They would sit there and beg. They would say, "Can I have her? I never. She's so quiet. She don't bother nobody." They would just literally ask to trade. My grandma would say, "Nah, you can't have her." And then I would wonder why she wouldn't give me away.
mm. So
And
you
then
wanted her to get rid of, I mean, not get rid of you, but to give you away to somebody else to escape from that. Mm,
and I remember taking these pills at 17. I was just tired of being treated, mistreated, and then battling voices that I was a mistake. God hated me. And so I tried to end my life. I had took a whole bunch of pills. It was like a handful. And I swallowed it and then I thought for sure I was gone. And the side effect of that medicine, it makes your muscles locks up. that's the side effects behind the medicine. Your muscles are literally just locked. You're like this, you're
Mm-hmm.
locked up. And so I had
Oh,
took a handful of them,
whoa.
and it just like I thought for sure I was going.
Mm,
The next day, just like it just went through my system. It just went on, washed through me at 17.
mm. Wasn't your time.
And
Y'all said
then
no. He said no way.
he was there.
Mm-hmm. You best believe it. Mm-hmm. You best believe it. Mm-hmm. He was there too when you stood over your grandma with that knife. He was there too. Mm-hmm. That voice that said, "Go put that knife back." It's like that's not how you're gonna end this. This is not how your life is gonna be. So he's been there with you, regardless of what the enemy wanted you to believe. He's always been there with you. He's always been there with you. You told me something that I thought was so deep before when we had talked. When you said when you were standing over your grandma with that knife, and you said that when you had that thought about go put that knife back, you had mentioned something about good and evil when you said how it had to have to be in a person, and I thought that was so deep. If you can share, you remember when you told me that, when you were saying that it has to be, you remember, you want to share that part, because I thought it was deep what you said about good and evil inside of a person.
Um, Talking about the two voices that was talking to me.
Right, right. And you was right, and you said something about how when it comes to evil, like when a person normally does stuff like that got to be in them to do, to do evil. You remember that? I
Yes.
thought that was so deep, and it wasn't in you. It wasn't. I actually just said it. I
Um,
wanted you to say it, but I was trying to remind you. But I remember you told me that when we were talking, and I thought that was so powerful. And I was like, you know what? That is true. It has to be in a person to do evil, because we get those two voices. Go ahead. Go ahead.
yeah. Like you have a choice, and you have two voices. The living, breathing testimony of this. You have two voices constantly picking at your ear. One telling you to do something that you know not right, and the other one is telling you it it's telling you not to go that way. And the other
Mm,
right one, it's very soft.
mm,
The other one is plain clear, clear, clear. But the other one is very soft, and
mm,
it's you have to really it's you have to really quiet your mind to hear the other one.
mm. Right? Yeah. Well, that was that loud voice was y'all's voice saying no.
That one was loud that night.
Mm, right.
It was very loud.
Wow. So y'all's been with you, from what you've been sharing all along. Wow.
My auntie
Hmm.
has told me that Yahuwah was with me ever since I was born. He had his hands around me.
Yes. You best believe it. Before you was even in your mother's womb. Yes. Before you
It's
was even in her womb.
it's an honor.
Yeah. Absolutely. Because that's not the case for everybody. That's not the case for everybody.
Yeah, who is
So yes, absolutely. And just to know that he chose you, right? It's a big world with a lot of people in it. He could have choose anybody, but you were one of them he chose, right? So you had to have been special, and you have to be special today to him. And that's the biggest part that matters.
I love him with my whole heart.
Yes, absolutely. He's worthy of all that love.
He
He
gets
is
all.
worthy. Hmm. Absolutely. Absolutely. So I remember you said you were 17 when you tried to take those pills. So at that time, I'm guessing you were still at your grandma's house. Yeah.
And when I was 18, that's when I started experiencing being locked up in the mental hospitals. It's like she tried to
Wow.
destroy me mentally.
So she
I
was sending you to the mental hospitals?
someone had told her that a person with ADHD, they can go get on, you can go put them on a check.
Oh.
So
Mm-hmm.
and so when she did that, and then I could remember Social Security. They had sent a letter that told said that my IQ level was high. It was like 148 at the time. Then I said I can go get a job, and so they
Uh-huh.
denied the cash. They couldn't find anything. And so you know
Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
they
Wow.
just so then after that, then it's like these hospitals and stuff start coming up, and
Mm.
so she would just go do stuff towards me. And I remember one time I used to try to run away, and I just used to just run out the house, and the neighbors they knew something was going on, but they didn't open their mouth or say nothing because they already know what kind of person she was. And
Mm.
I remember running to the woods, and then my brother he had caught up to me. I just broke and just started running. And then when they had caught up to me, then that's when she hit me upside the head. I was hit upside the head with a 2x4. She literally stepped on my face. She just literally just took her feet and just stepped on me.
Oh my goodness. Wow.
And
And where
then
was your grandfather around this time, like when she was doing all of this? Where was he?
it was there like he would just uh yes, yes, man.
Oh, okay.
He would
Mm.
just do anything she
Oh.
tell him.
Mm. Wow. So he didn't come to you guys' as defense. He just was pretty much like
Yeah,
probably scared of her too.
it was a part of it.
Hmm.
And then I
Hmm.
could remember that day she had told a lie on me that day that I tried to hang myself. And cause
Wow.
trying to break free from what she was doing towards me. And the people they had came, then these cops came to the thing, and then my cousins they're policemen. Well, they're the sheriff over here. And they had came. She had them coming to come pick me up like I was court ordered. Because when she would send me to the hospital, they would send me back until they would say ain't nothing wrong with me. So she had tried
Wow.
court ordering me. And so I had to stay down there for 2 whole weeks, court ordered. And I was scared. And then this lady, she looked at me and she had sat up there and said, she she had told me that it was gonna be okay. And she said she said I was a very special person. And she had told me that it was gonna be okay. And
Who said that? That was your grandma?
this
Somebody
lady
else.
at the hospital,
Okay.
we were watching a movie, and I was just she was just talking to me. Then she said, one day I'm gonna see you on TV. And I was just looking at her crazy, like cause I kind of didn't understand what she was talking about. And cause she would hear me sing. And like singing and music it's a way to escape.
Mm, right.
And
So
so
that's, go ahead.
it's a natural gift that I know nobody gave it to me but Yahuwah.
Wow. Hallelujah. Wow. Yes, I heard some of your music too. And it's beautiful. Yes, you're very talented. Very talented.
And like my drawing and video editing and stuff, it's all natural. I'm not taught
Mm,
to school for it or anything.
wow. Hallelujah.
So I know he got something big in stores for me.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. So your grandmother tried so hard to make other people say that you were crazy and all these things was wrong with you and ADHD, and every time they was just like, no,
She'll,
she's
she'll
fine.
literally diagnose me. She'll literally diagnose me. Um, and say that
Mm,
I was paranoid, schizophrenic, all that stuff. And only one doctor had diagnosed me. That's the one doctor time out because my focus level, couldn't hardly sit in class right, and easily distracted stuff. They had did some examining on my brain and stuff, and only one doctor diagnosed me with ADHD.
mm,
They
mm,
had put
mm.
stuff around my brain and all that stuff, and I was at a place for 7 days. That was when I was younger, 12 years old.
Hmm.
But when I started seeing them other hospitals, them where people there one girl had set up there, they would just bust out doing stuff, and it would scare me. And that one girl had set up there, pulled her shirt off, and she said that the devil was her dad. And
Mm,
um the other one, she would just bust out screaming out of nowhere. And then I witnessed some of them. They would just put them in that little thing, and they'll throw them in a padded room, and then they'll stick some they'll call people to come and get them, and then they'll drag them somewhere.
so you was in there witnessing all of that, and nothing even was wrong with you like that. Nothing was wrong.
And then
Just your just your grandma trying to paint the narrative that something was wrong.
just trying to put me on a check.
Mm,
And so she
mm, mm.
tried to do like my other two brothers that died.
Wow, you had two brothers that passed away. I didn't know that. Really?
They died.
How?
Um, First, they was all in the same house, in that same house. The only one that's still living in that house, Papa, my granddad. Um,
He's still in there now? You talking about today? Really? So he's still alive? Hmm. So your
and
brothers died over there?
Pokey and Dan. Dan died in 2020. I think it was 2020. In June of 2020. Um, they said that he was walking, and he went out, did his morning walk and everything. Then they said early in the morning he was reading the Bible, and then he did his morning walk. Then he came back. He took a bath. He got out the bathtub, and he went in the room, and they said that they heard something. My grandma, she didn't witness him. Uh, she just walked back there, and he was just laying on the floor with his mouth wide open.
Whoa.
Um,
Hmm.
Pokey, that was the first one where I seen um the spiritual stuff with Pokey. It was 3 days before his death. I had seen something standing in the living room, and Pokey was coming out the kitchen, and his whole right side was deteriorating. And it's like I wanted to say something, but my mouth was muted.
Hmm. Hmm. How old were your brothers when they passed away?
Um, they was pretty old because my grandma adopted me, so they was really older than me.
Well, you said your grandmother did what?
My grandma adopted me, so they was pretty older than me.
Okay.
They was in their 50s.
Okay. That was your, so I'm guessing you guys had the same mom? Or are you talking about you just called them brothers? That was your grandma's children? Okay, I see. Okay, I got you.
And
Mm.
so when she before he died, it was like 10 months before she died.
Mm.
And I can remember him telling me because he was there witnessing the stuff, and he had sat there and told me they didn't name me Cat, and he said Cat, I said, baby, you're gonna get what's coming to her of all that stuff she did towards you. No, he had called her that B word, and I had told him to stop cursing. And he's like, he told her that she was gonna that was the one that she was put him on a check, and she was getting all his money, and he wasn't getting
Mm.
mine. That was one of them. And
Mm.
he told her when it said, I hope to, die and all that stuff.
Mm.
Yeah, he was really pissed with her before he had died.
Mm.
But she witnessed him. She he had fell on a he had called her, and he had fell on the floor, and she was standing there.
Mm. Mm. Oh, wow.
And
So, hmm
what you was about to say?
no, you was it looked like you wanted to say something else. I want to cut you off.
Not really.
Not really. Okay. I was actually going to ask you because I know you was talking about up to the age of 18. So when would you say you left? Like, what was your transition like? Like leaving from that environment out of your grandma's house and stuff, and into adulthood.
Well, when I turned 21, when she was trying to work on all them cases with Social Security, and Social Security when and she had hired a lawyer, and so
Wow.
after that letter, the denial letter, I think there was a letter denial letter. She kicked me out, and so I was thrown out into the streets. I was basically living on the streets, and first I was staying with my brother, and by my brother he's being gay and stuff.
Okay.
He like boys, little boys,
Okay. Okay.
and so she would try to keep up mess and it just started between me and my brother. She would just keep up mess between me and him, and she would just put lies and stuff out, and so my brother he had put me out. Then I was helping this elderly man. I would go cook and clean for him and help him out and clean his house and and so he took me in and he tried to you know wanted to have you know
Mm-hmm.
and so I remember he had bought some Viagra and he was calling me. I was sleeping in the living room and he was sleep in the bed. He was sleeping in his room and he would call me all that night and I would never move from the couch. And so the next day he threw me out the house and he sat up there and told the whole neighborhood that I was stupid. I don't got no money. And he offered me $300 to sleep with him. And I didn't sleep with him. I'm a dumb, stupid so and
Oh
so.
my goodness. Oh my goodness. Woo. Woo. Yeah. My
and
goodness.
I remember my grandma, it was cold that day. And he said, Miss Russ, I got your granddaughter out here in the ditch. And then she was just standing there. And she just stood and looked at me and turned around and closed the door in my face.
Mm. Wow. How old was this man?
Um, he was born he was 1943, so he was kind of pretty much old.
It was a good age. Wow. So, your brother that you was talking about that you went and stayed with is not now. Is that a brother from your grandma, or was that your real brother, the
Um,
one you went and stayed with for a little bit?
my real brother.
Okay. So, what did your mom only have two of you guys, two children? Just okay. Mm. So your
No,
grandma closed the door in your face. Hmm.
she had closed the door in my face, and I was just sitting out there in the ditch, and I could remember bathing in rainwater, and some people took me in, and the one girl she had took me in, and then but she took advantage of me. She would leave her kids up
Mm.
in leave her 5 kids with me. and she'll be gone all night. And then her one day her boyfriend came in, and then her boyfriend tried to flirt with me. And I had to ran in the room and took the kids, and I ran in the room, and I didn't come out till she came back. And I had told her that her boyfriend tried to holler at me. And when I told her that, she went in the room, and then they all got in an argument. And then he had told her to get that B out of this house. So then I witnessed him slam her head and bust a hole in the apartment. And she gonna take his side over mine over me. And then she kicked me out, and I was homeless for about a year and something.
Mm.
And
Like,
then
mm-hmm.
I don't know what my grandma did with that Social Security stuff, but about January or February the next year in 2015, um, she was looking for me, and she couldn't find me. The check came, and but it was in my name, and she couldn't find me, and so she was looking all over for me. Then when she did find me, she they say Yahuwah don't like ugly. She did all that
Mm.
stuff, and then by me having a kind heart, she had asked for $40 out the check, and I gave it to her. And then when the check came on, that's when she started. Then when she took me back in from outside the streets,
Mm.
and then
Really?
I remember they were giving me a back pay, and I gave her 600, and I told her to go take care of herself. And boy, I got a whole lot of backflash. You stupid. You dumb. They did all this to you. You this and that. You this and that. You slow. Why would you give
Mm.
LA that much money? And she got that did. My own family members were just going off at me.
Mm.
And about a month later, after that happened, I moved in my apartment. It was in two. It was April the 1st, 2015.
Mm.
I moved in there with the lights off. I was had to shower in cold water for 3 days, but I was glad I had a stable place to stay.
Mm. Right. Right. Mm. And then
Mhm.
now it was your own place.
But then, you know, I guess Satan had to make his round again
Mm.
after
Mm.
I moved there. The manager there, she was a dyke,
Okay.
and so she showed interest in me. And it was like two of them. One of them there, she was she had told they had came towards me with both of them. If you do what we say, things will run smooth over here for you. And so then the manager just started hitting on me, and so I had told her I'm not like that. And so when I let them know that I wasn't like that, then that's when hell broke loose.
Mm.
Um, Back then, I was I had real anger issues, and so the my ex boyfriend that I had, it was an incident that occurred outside the apartment. Um, but he ended up getting banded. Uh, um, they would ban my boyfriend for coming up there. That just doing all kind of wicked stuff. And
Mm.
so he would come outside the gate. And so I remember he I was sleeping. He had called me to come outside. And then I went out there, then I rode with him and I was just on my phone, and all of a sudden he snapped because I was on my phone. And then so me and him got in an altercation. I don't remember doing none of those things. All I know that they was trying to get me off of him.
Mm.
And so it was way outside the gate. And so the other gay woman, she lied up on me and said that he pulled inside the apartment. And then so the manager, she would just be writing me up, writing me up, writing me up for no reason. And
Mm.
so um I remember going the last write up was she allowed the lady, it was this drunk lady. Um she's akin to my oldest brother on that side. And she was drunk. And so they came outside and all of them was like they was attacking me. And they were just slandering my name and doing all that stuff. And then there was this one girl, she came in my apartment, and then she had went and lied up on me and said that I took a knife and was slamming it up on the thing, and was threatening to go kill somebody and all of that stuff. That same girl, I can remember she had asked the same girl would come back and ask me for food, and I would feed her. And then one of my neighbors asked me why is you feeding her, and she went in here and lied upon you. And then at the time I was calling him God. It said love your enemies, do good to those that hate you, pray for those that spitefully misuse you. They said, and it said, if they come and ask for food, feed them. And so that's what I did. And
Mm.
when she lied upon me, the tables turned on her. A month later, she was evicted.
Mm.
But
Mm.
all that brawl, um, I ended up at the end. I ended up keeping my apartment until
Mm.
Durant.
Until what?
Until I moved to Durant.
Okay. Okay. Mm. Well, okay. Okay. So I guess what the situation like when you were staying there, I guess you and your grandma, you guys stopped talking again once you left that time.
No, I would still contact my grandma. I would still check on her.
Mm.
I would just mostly check on and call on her. I would never been the type to hold grudges.
Okay.
Even though she
Okay.
would do all that stuff, especially when she did that towards my son. Um, when I was 25, I had him, and she it was like my 25th birthday, and dabbling and stuff. That was my first time drinking at 25. And so I wanted to be a good girl, go bad.
Mm. And
Right.
hey, that was
Except
that's your story. That's okay. Mm-hmm. So what did you do?
So, uh, next thing you know, I got drunk, sloppy drunk,
Mm.
and
Uh-oh.
a little Jerry's came into play.
Okay, okay, okay. Okay.
That was
I
it.
got you. Mm-hmm.
And when I had him, my grandma, she would just call up there to the hospital, and she tried just literally, they called CPS. And I couldn't even take my child home because of the lies and stuff that my grandma was doing. And
Hmm.
she called there making up false accusations, telling me I was a danger to my son and all of this. And I couldn't even take him home. And the next day I think they had a shelter hearing. And she got my brother, she had went and told my brother lies and had my brother going against me. And
Hmm.
I'm thinking that he was coming there for me, but he was against me the whole time. And then
Hmm.
at the end of it, my brother really found out because somebody had said something in the courtroom. They had sat up there and said that the whole hospital floor was crying on my behalf because as a first time mother, I wouldn't let nobody touch him. I would go in there and try to learn myself. Go in there and feed him and go in there. I would tell him when it's time for feeding, call me. I would literally walk to my room from my room to the other half of the room, and I had stitches in me, and I would literally
Hmm.
just to feed my baby, put up
Hmm.
stuff, and
Wow.
so my brother,
Incredible.
first time I saw him cry, and
Hmm.
making a long story short, I ended up getting my baby back, and I told my grandma to her face what I told her on the phone because she would just call and leave guilty voice messages and all that stuff. Just had a lot of guilt, and and I had said, "Whoever done this, I forgive them." Then she had said out of her mouth, "Oh, you so sweet. You ain't like your brother Ash. You got a kind heart."
Hmm. Hmm. Wow. Mm. Well, that's wonderful how you wanted to, you know, show up and be there for your baby, for every moment, in the hospital and stuff like that. And I think that was beautiful.
And
Um, hmm.
Yahuwah, Yahuwah, he's the only one that been by my side when it comes to raising my son.
Right, right. And I heard him earlier, so I know he's there with you. So obviously, you were able to care for him because he's there with you today. Hallelujah. Hey. Hallelujah. Awesome, awesome. That's good. Well, I know you had a near-death experience. And so I definitely want you to talk about that because that's a big part, another huge part of your testimony. So just telling people what happened with that.
Well, this happened in 2022. Um, as I was, battling back and forth with thoughts in my head like I wasn't worth anything, and I was hated by YAH and all that stuff. And so I started doing a lot of drinking to try to ease the pain, and my past kept coming back to me, and I would be depressed and all that, and I would just drink, 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 turn up bottles and stuff. And I remember started put Listerine in alcohol, mixed it together, and I know there wasn't nobody but YAH. Because after I fixed the cup, one of them just automatically tipped over, just
Mm.
it spilled. The other one, I fixed it up, and then it's like I just got up and just walked, like it just got off my mind, just like that, and I just walked on off and left it
Mm.
behind.
Mm.
And so the apartment that I was moving in, I'm very terrified of rats, mice and rats. And so never, I never seen no stuff like this before. Where the mice would crawl up the little thing with a door, and the way they built this apartment, it had a whole bunch of holes, and so the mice was coming up out the little thing where you close the door at, and it had his little head out there, and I was. It was 10 or 12 of them, and they was scratching the walls and stuff, and I was scared. Couldn't sleep at night. And
Mm.
it just deprived. And so one day, I think the day before my accident, I ended up I was driving to school, and I almost fell asleep behind the wheel, and when the car would beep, and it was just right slow up on me, and then I didn't even know whether I was going on the other half of the other side of the road. And so the very day of my accident, about time we set up all the holes and stuff, and it seemed like some more scratching and stuff that I can remember, just say I wasn't gonna stay here. And so by that time, around that time, I've been meeting a famous artist in Memphis. She had she had got on a remix of one of my songs, and we been
Okay.
going to the studio. And so I just packed up everything, and then I had thought, well, I'm gonna stay a night, because I know the next day that I supposed to be going to the studio. All of a sudden, it's like I got on the road, and like something, my wheel just lost control, and
Now you
went
were on your
straight.
way there. Were you on your way there? Okay.
It went straight, and like went off the road, and I hit this tree, and then my whole body was like boom, boom, and then from here all the way down was crunched underneath the steering wheel, and
Mm.
I can remember talking to Yahuwah. Then the next thing I know, it was this lady stood that was trying to jam. They were trying to get me out the car, and I can remember taking his hand, trying to get out the car. They said, "Don't move, don't move." Then these people,
Mm.
then they had to lift me up to put me on a stretcher, and they told me my whole right leg was dislocated. My right
Mm.
hip didn't know that my right hip was knocked out of socket. The little ball
Ooh.
thing on the hip, it
Ooh.
was knocked out of socket.
And you was
It's
up.
literally my whole leg could have fell off me.
Wow. So you was actually up when you were going through that experience?
Huh?
You was actually up, like aware when you were going through that experience?
It's like first I was blinked out, then I was aware when they took me all the way up to talking and everything. I didn't even know that my neck was the top part of my spine from C0 to C2 vertebrae. I didn't even know that my head was half off my neck. And I
Mm.
was talking and everything. And then so I remember they trying to fix my just cut it out. I remember they was trying to fix my leg, and they caught themselves trying to put me to sleep. I felt every bit of it. And I can remember like I was going fast into a tunnel, like going through a tunnel. And I seen this light, this bright light. As I was going through this, felt like I was going real fast, like I was like a speed. And then
You
I
said through where you was going when you was going real
like
fast.
I
Where
was
where was?
traveling through a tunnel,
Okay.
and I was screaming, but nobody could hear me. And then I stopped at this white light. It was a bright light. And then it's like I woke up, and then it's like there was I woke up in this room, and my mouth was dry and everything, and they was stapling my head right here because it was gashed open. And then a lady had came in and said something about my neck, and they was trying to get my legs straight before they could do my neck. And then a lady, she had my, and I could feel the pain at the back of my head. I could just feel the pain. It was hurt just so bad. And she had came in, and then next thing I know, it's like everything went dark again. And I woke back up in this room, and it was like um something down my throat, and there I was talking, and then they had sat up there and said um the room was glass, and it was like I didn't know I was on a very top floor for people dying in the next room.
Mm.
All I know is I woke up freaking out, and the lady they the guys they took that thing whatever they had on my down my throat, and then I had this thing on my neck, and it was like crunching like this, like
Mm-hmm.
a brace.
Mm-hmm. What you talking about?
And then I was like, when what was going on? And they had told me that I had started trying to take stuff off of me and started moving. They said don't be moving and stuff. And they had told me that I need to keep that neck brace because it was my head was literally dangling off the top part of my spine.
Mm.
And then I can remember talking. Then all of a sudden I stopped talking. I couldn't say anything. I couldn't even open my mouth or make a sound. Only thing I was saying like, and
Mm.
people thought I had a speech problem. I couldn't, cause I couldn't hardly, like I couldn't even say anything. I was straining to try to talk,
Mm.
and I was in there, and these people they just kept tossing me aside, like just picking me up, throwing me, and everything. And I was just up in the hospital, and it like I was being these white people that were just like one white man had literally put my arm together like this, and I was fighting with him, and he literally folded me up like I was a taco, and had put me down, and then I couldn't even hardly breathe,
Mm.
and then it was
Wow.
like I stayed in the hospital for 14 days, but it felt longer.
Mm.
I had my C0 to C2 vertebrae. It was fused together. I got a rod going straight to from the base of my skull all the way down to my C2 vertebrae. Then I got a long rod going way down my leg all the way to my ankle and my feet. It's rod and screwed. Then I got like they got something holding my hip back up in um the socket, the ball joint that was out. They got something holding it back in, holding the ball joint.
Mm. Okay.
And
Oof.
it was like a month later. I know it was Yahuwah. He told me to get up and walk,
Mm.
and I got up and walked, and I've been walking ever since. They told me
Mm.
I wasn't gonna be
Hallelujah.
able to walk, and
Mm.
they told me that I was gonna be paralyzed from neck down.
Wow.
And
Mm.
when they told me that in the hospital, I can remember waking up. Well, they had sat me up in this chair, and they had told my brother that I was gonna be paralyzed from neck down if I don't die. And they had sat
Mm.
me up in this chair, and I remember getting up out the chair, and I had to boot on my feet. I couldn't keep still for nothing in the world. I can't stay still enough, and they had me in the bed for and I couldn't move. And so when the lady finally sat me up in a chair, it's like I couldn't keep still for nothing in the world. And so I had got up and started walking. I had stitches in my leg and everything. And
Mm. So I'm not staying in that bed, huh?
a boot, and
Mm-hmm.
they told me to stay in the chair. I was walking with stitches in me, walking,
Mm-hmm.
and I remember I got to the bathroom, then to the little bathroom door, and I remember the boot slipped, and then I had fell,
Uh-oh.
and they was out trying to rescue me. Then I had got up, and I was getting up myself. By the time they got up, they had put me back in the bed. They told me I wasn't gonna sit in for no chair no more. I was so glad when I got out the hospital. And then
You was ready to go, huh?
when I got out the hospital, I took the thing from around my neck. They
Uh-oh.
told me to get it.
Really? Uh-oh. What? Oh, whoa. You like, I'm not walking with that.
Listen, I took the boot off my foot,
Ah,
and before physical therapy, I was walking before physical therapy was started.
oh, really? Wow. Isn't y'all amazing, huh? You know he was giving you that strength.
This all came from him.
Yeah. Whoa. Hallelujah.
It's just
Wow.
it's just so amazing to see his mighty, beautiful hands.
Absolutely. Hallelujah. Did you have your son at that time? You did. Okay. And your and your grandfather, were they still alive? Did they go to the hospital?
No, my grandma,
Okay. But
she didn't go.
okay.
Only my
Okay.
brother came to see me.
Brother. So you guys must have been close. I mean, must be close.
Um, my brother is like overprotective,
Mm.
and I be trying to hide stuff from him, cause he be just like he just be doing stuff, and like the other day I told him to forgive. You gotta forgive.
Hmm.
He had thought I
Okay.
would. I had told him I don't celebrate Mother Day no more because it's he man thought I was cause of my grandma, and
Mm.
but I had told him that it was because a lot of satanic stuff behind and stuff,
Mm.
and so he still has a lot of anger towards what my grandma did towards us, and I
Mm.
told him, no, you gotta forgive.
Right. 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 Wow. So what a testimony. Praise Yah. Because I remember when you said what you were doing, you were on your way to create music. But Yah in that moment was like, no, 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 no. He had a different path for you.
It's like Satan tried to get me to go one way with my gift, and then to me it's like it was a wake up call. This accident was a wake up call. It was a truly wake up call to see that Yahuwah loved me. He didn't hate me, and I didn't go through this stuff um just to be going through it. He had a plan and a purpose for me.
Absolutely. He always
And,
does.
and the gifts that and the talents that he blessed me with, um, he gonna use it for his purpose and his will.
Hmm. Right. To glorify him.
And I know the talents that he gave me with music and art and stuff. I believe it's mostly reaching towards the younger generation.
Mm. Hmm.
So I'm
Okay.
just being patient and just
Okay.
trusting and following him.
Right. Yeah. Allowing him to guide your footsteps because he sure know how to do that for all of us. Yes. Well, wow, that's awesome. Um, and then I guess we can kind of like go into transition into because yeah, we will transition into the part about church, like your experience with church and how did you come into the knowledge of the truth.
Um, my experience in church, like I said, when I was little, I always wanted to go to church, and I didn't get a chance to go to church until I was 14. And by the age of 14, that's when I started experiencing a lot of spiritual things. I couldn't understand what was going on at the time like I do now. I would go to these churches and you know how like people be running around and falling out and stuff and
Mm-hmm.
um I would look at age 15 and stuff. I would just look at these people and I would be like, uh, the pastor be doing just hollering over the mic and you never learn anything. Cause just hollering over the mic and and just doing all that sweating and stuff. And then the lady walked around and running around. And then it's like I could tell that person was faking.
Mm.
And I didn't know why I was looking at it like that. So okay, I said it was like ain't no Holy Ghost up in this lady. Like she was faking. And then I
Mm.
met this one person. It's like I could see right through him and know what he was doing in church. He wasn't doing that mess outside church. And I was wondering what was going on with me at the time. Like I could sense things and um like you could sense things, then look at stuff, and then all of a sudden it'll come to pass.
Mm-hmm.
I could get a feeling about something, and then a few days later it'll come to pass.
Mm.
And
Mm-hmm.
then like the pastor that I knew it wasn't some wasn't right about the pastor, and some few days later, well, couple of years later, when I left that church, I found out what was why I was getting this feeling about this pastor and stuff. He was in the club,
Mm.
and
Mm. Mm. Mm.
the second church I went to, um, that was a church when this prophet she had came, she was speaking. Then she had came. When she got finished speaking, she had came in and she told me to come here, and she started saying some stuff over my life. Like I'm trying to figure out who is you and how you know me like that. Then she had put her hand over my head. Then she said, "Woo, you blessed. Woo, you blessed." She said, you wanna Yah's elect." And then she said the same one that mistreated you, the same one gonna come back and ask you to pray for them. And then I was just looking at her. Then she told me to stay in my words. And right after that, it was another one said that Yahuwah gonna be showing me stuff, and I'm gonna start having dreams and stuff. And
Mm.
so right after that, when I remember having my first dream about this pastor, he was walking past the pulpit, and he kept saying, "Woe to the pastor that lead my flock straight. Woe to the pastor that lead my flock straight. Woe to the pastor that lead my flock straight." It would sound like some watery, like many voices in a dream.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, mine I'm by myself. I'm asleep. It's like something touched my foot and I jumped up. In the last church, well, the third one before the last one, it was just two people that was their church way down the street, and I always had wanted to, closer relationship with Yahuwah, and I was still in the world, but I was just seeking a closer relationship with Yahuwah, and I wanted to know the truth, and so she first been my mentor. She would have me reading Bible verses, and then she would have me explaining what I learned from them. Then all of a sudden, I was all excited and everything. I said, "Yes, I'm finna learn," and I'm
Mm-hmm.
be close. And I was sitting on the couch, and just like I'm looking at me and you right now,
Mm-hmm.
it was a vision, like a glimpse before, like a snap, some for my eyes. And I seen her and the pastor, and they had a demonic look.
Mm.
And I'm like, huh? And then I kept going because I was still in the world, didn't understand what was going on with me. I'm seeing all of this stuff, still don't understand what was going on with me because I was still in the world at the time. And I kept going, and then as I look back, I just thank Yahuwah because he definitely be with me through my ignorance because I was very ignorant, and
Mm.
like because I didn't know he was warning me to get away from there, and I got scorched for not listening,
Mm.
and, I kept going there. Then the second time it was a big old demon. Like I felt the pressure. Like I could feel them things, and it was mad. It was hatred. It almost knocked me up out the knocked me up out the church. And the last thing, because I'll be very attentive to the words that people be speaking, because I know that some people they take the y'all words and they take it out of context. And I'll be very, very attentive because I always wanted to learn about y'all's word. And something that she had said that was off, that made me stop coming.
Mm.
She said that I was doing it way before God called me. And I look at it the way it said, no woman don't no woman supposed to be behind a pulpit because Satan came to the woman first, and that's
Mm-hmm.
transgression. You're standing behind
Mm-hmm.
the pulpit preaching,
So she was the preacher of the church.
taking over.
Mm.
Her husband
Mm.
was like sitting there, and it was something
Mm.
I said to them people before I left. They got aggravated. They got agitated when I brought up.
Mm.
And so I said that was my last church. I didn't want to go back. Then so I
Mm.
got on my knees and I had prayed, and I asked at the time I said, God, I seek for his truth. And then it's like another lady came to me, and she had sat up there and told me that she said something similar to what the prophet had told me, talking about the one that told me put her hands on my head. Um, and she had said that people would start finna be erased from my life. Soon as she said that, it just like the old friends that I had, like everybody turned their back on me, went again, like I was just losing people. And one night, it's like I was humbled. I couldn't have no choice but to call out to him. And then that's when he revealed himself to me. And then like my life went changed. It changed from the better. Like all at once. I had to stop cursing. Like I was going through a transformation.
Mm-hmm.
After that touch, like I was going through a transformation. Like, and I was seeing it's like part of me was dying, and the other one I couldn't understand what was going on. And I had went to a preacher at the time, and they had told me that I was having a spiritual birth.
Hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then I kept searching, and then I remember Yahuwah had me waking up at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. I was just in his word, in his word, in his words. The first book I was reading Proverbs. Second book it was Romans. The third book Isaiah, then Jeremiah and Psalms, and then Daniel. Then I was stuck on Revelation, and then it was mostly the chapters I was reading. It was mostly talking about end time prophecy. It's like I was focusing more upon end time. The the beast, the Revelation, and Daniel's, and I read Daniel like 4 or 5 times, and
Hmm.
before I started going through the spiritual warfares and stuff, I was reading the book of Job. That's when after I complete the book of Job, that's when I started experiencing these battles with. It's like it was like spiritual warfare, and
Mm-hmm.
I knew I was asking Yahuwah for His name. I was praying and seeking for His name. Then your channel came across first. It was something at the time I was believing it. His name was Jesus, and it was a post said that Pastor Gino Jensen couldn't get the demon out through the word Jesus.
Ho, 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 ho.
And at that time
Mm.
I was still trying to, I was just a little baby in the truth.
Mm-hmm.
The baby still on his words and everything. And so I was like, huh? Ain't nobody gonna sit there and try to say, Jesus ain't real experience of myself. And then so then when you text back a link on a video thing, and I watched the documentary. When I watched it, then I'm like, huh, this I was confused. Right? I didn't
Right.
let I was just kept praying, saying I was just praying for truth. Like it was like a fruit of battle in my head. Then the truth unedited. He started I listened to him, and then it was like he was saying some pointers and that I know that was going on, and I was experiencing the stuff myself. Then he had came and he started breaking down Yahuwah and Yahushua. And the your documentary came right back in, and then I watched it, and then it's like my eyes opened some more after
Mm.
I watched your documentary.
Mm-hmm. Hallelujah.
And
Yeah, I was starting to reveal some things, more things to you. Mm-hmm.
And that's when I went to the the last church that I went to. I was teaching kids,
You was
and I
teaching the
started
kids.
teaching them. I started teaching them Yahuwah's name, and
Mm.
they would go stand out in the front, and they would present it. I was getting backflash.
I
Yahweh,
bet.
Yahweh, Jehovah, and all that stuff. And what really got the backflash going is that when I sat up there and told the kids what they tried to say about me, cause I was standing up there and I would tell it's like Yahuwah, I knew that was him. He was speaking to me to tell them people about them pagan holidays. It was somebody there that supposed to got a message.
Mhm.
And I know that was him because I couldn't stand up there like that. And when I get in front of a lot of people, I can't stand and talk, like, cause I get
Right.
shy. But
Right.
that's why I know that was him.
Mm.
I had gave Jeremiah 10. It's like I was just started speaking verses out to these people.
Wow.
And so that holiday came up,
Hmm.
and that's me. What am I? I'm gonna let the kids pull a name for Christmas. And I sat up there and said I don't celebrate Christmas. The lady said, so you don't love Christ? I said I love Yahuwah true enough to follow the first two commandments. I was backflash. I was getting backflash.
I bet.
So
They didn't understand.
it was put on my heart to tell the kids about Christmas. So I showed them one of your video, and
The Christmas video. Yeah.
the kid that
Mm.
was like Madison and what's his name? His name is A-
Oh.
and it like it planted up in them, but the parents after that the parents went straight off. You can't teach
Mm.
my kids no more. Just the one parent went off on me so bad. They're scared of you. They literally had a conversation about me, and cause I wouldn't go to that church until I was led to go,
Mm.
and so that particular day I was like felt staying at home. I heard that one of the church members said they was having a conversation about me because it the main two of these women they had demons in them, and no cooking. I walked through the door, it's like them demons got agitated or something up inside of them. They had pure hatred towards me. I mean, you just
Mm.
see it.
Mm. Mm.
And
Mm.
the lady they had said they was talking about what they asked the kids what they like about Christmas, and then the two kids they said when Madison got up and she said I like it and I don't like it. Then they said why you don't like it? Then she said I just don't know, I just don't like it. Then they said Aiden raised up his hand and said, I know Victoria has showed us this video about Christmas and Christmas of Satan. And
Uh-oh.
and um
So,
and then we had
so the
fighting
kids told.
word scammer and everything. Boy, they said the church went up, they lit up in there. The
Uh-uh.
parents got pissed off. One of them,
Mm.
you up in there taking the kid, Yahoo and that and all that. You need to go ask yourself for go down, ask for forgiveness. You need to literally pray and ask for forgiveness. I don't know what kind of God you're serving and all. She just went off
Bless
on
they
me.
heart. Ooh.
And
Ooh.
after that, I went on a 3-day fast, and I was praying to Yahuwah, and then I was just praying for the next step, what I need to do. The first dream, it was the first night I had a dream, and it was like a building burning up, and it said, "Come out of her, remove
Mm.
your foot from her. Judgment
Mm.
is near." And that dream, it stayed there through
Wow.
the whole night. I could just
Mm.
visual image. I couldn't
Mm.
my dream. You know how sometimes you can change your sleep and your dream, you can change the scenery. Some dreams I can't change. It's just
Mm.
like a symbol in there,
Mm.
like a. But then it be Bible verses in there too.
Mm. Mm.
And I kept seeking, and then because it's not that I have doubt, because Satan, he comes and try to pretend like he's Yahuwah. So I was steady be praying, asking Yahuwah for confirmation. And
Right.
Matthew's 10 one verse said, um if they don't hear you, dust your feet off.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
And
That's a feet. Mm-hmm.
Luke 10 came to me first, and then Matthew's 10. And then that was fully confirmation that whatever I was sent there to do, it was done.
Mm. Time for
And
you to go
I've
now.
been back since.
Mm. Wow. Wow. Hmm. Well, I bet you those kids won't forget what they saw. They gonna when as they're gonna be growing, they're gonna remember that video, regardless of what their parents say. They're gonna remember
They
what they
they
saw.
they was pronouncing his name so good. Then I made
Oh.
the meaning of the name. And
Oh.
boy,
Oh.
I was.
Wow. They not gonna forget.
I
Yah's
know
name
her.
is starting to be spread all over the world, so someday they just might hear it again, and they'll remember Miss Victoria. Ooh, wow, what an experience! What an experience! So this is how you I guess you came into the truth and your experience that you've had with the church, your last experience with the church. Um, so I guess we can say now, well, I can ask you now, with everything you've experienced and now being, walking in this truth, even from your with your testimony, your entire testimony and being in this truth, like, what do you have any advice, for anyone, that's something that you'd like to share, I guess, to give encouragement, or even whatever that may be, I don't know, whatever y'all put on your heart, just anything that you would like to share with someone, whoever is listening, for the listener.
My advice is that whenever you don't let Satan choke the word up out of you. Um and what that means is, like, whenever you get a truth, don't let it don't let Satan come with different kind of thoughts to try to confuse your mind. And when you get that way, it's pray, pray.
Mhm.
Um, Guaranteed. As a living witness, Yahuwah, he will reveal it to you. and He will
Mm-hmm.
um, get you up out of that situation. Just don't give up. And the narrow road is it's very rocky sometimes, and sometimes you might feel like you don't know where to do what to do, or you might feel like Yah's not listening, but He's there. He's there every
Mm-hmm.
step of the way. Just keep going. Never look back.
Mm-hmm. Right.
When you're on this
Right.
narrow
Right.
road, keep going. Look forward. Don't,
Mm-hmm.
because back there is garbage. Why would you want to back?
Right. Right. Yes. Hallelujah. Well, good word. And we're gonna end it with if you want. I know you talked about your singing. You want
Um,
you want to do that? You want to share? Sing like the I don't remember the name of it, but I love it. You know the one that I'm talking about. That's the very first one that you let me hear. You remember when you sung that song there? I thought it was beautiful. You want to share?
na 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 na. Hey, when no one's there, you said I'm mad. When no one cared, you said I care. You washed away all my tears. You filled my heart with tears. I will praise you to my last breath. I will praise you to my last one. I will praise you to my last breath. I will praise you to my last one. I was down in the dark, couldn't find my way out. I was drowning in my sorrow, living life like no tomorrow. See the pain in my eyes every time I cry. Deep inside, I was empty. Then you heard my cry. You came and saved me. I was
Hallelujah.
blind and I couldn't see. Then you opened my eyes and you set me free. When no one's there. You said I'm there when no one cared. You said I care. You washed away all my tears. You filled my heart with tears. I will praise you to my last breath. I will
Hallelujah.
praise you to my last one. I will praise you to my last breath.
Share your channel.
Um,
It's up to you. It's up to you. If
maybe
not, if you're not, uh, or we can put it in the description if you like.
you can put it in the description.
Okay. Okay. Well, I wanted you to share that, and thank you for sharing your testimony with everyone, and also your gift. The beautiful song that y'all put on your heart. Um, and it was a pleasure speaking with you and hearing your testimony. And it's my prayer, as always, that it will be helpful, beneficial to others, which I'm sure it will. Any testimony that comes from, I guess you could say, well, any testimony where we showing Yah's goodness through our lives, from coming from whatever we came from to now, a better place that He has brought us through. Well, you know what I'm saying. I guess coming from a bad place to a good place, that's something that we can rejoice in and actually show Yah's power through our lives, His goodness, His mercy, His favor, His love. So, hallelujah.
We are
So,
who is we are Yahuwah's instrument, and we
there
are
you go.
a warrior of Yahushua.
There you go.
We're
Absolutely.
like a
Absolutely.
lion.
Yes, you are right. Hallelujah. So, thank you. And we go end the recording.